Good morning, and you're very welcome here to the Maharees. We are here in this historic townland of Kilshannig, in the Church of Kilshannig, which is probably a very, very early medieval church, and its sister church is out on Ilan Tannig, which is an island out here, one of the many islands out from the Maharees. Here with me is John Malachy Rafferty on Filla from Glenamady in County Galway. And you're very, very welcome, John Malachy, to this part of the country this beautiful morning.
In the pink, go into the blue, blue of youth, blue lifts all, blue notes noting. Go on, you must go on. Go into the grey, grey of age, grey captures all, grey coats coating. Go on, you must go on. Go into the pink, pink hues eternal, pink relieves all, pink floats floating. Go on, you must go on and on. Morning has broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dewfall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. This stone cross inscription reads, "Thy will be done, thy will be done." Which reminds me of the Pater Noster, the Our Father, in Irish, many moons ago, taught to us in the national school. Árinneachar atá an neamh go néfar denim go jigad ó riacht go néanta de hell ar an talamh mar néantar an neamh. Ár na rán leithúil tór dúin aniu agus is smach dúin ar bhica mar bhahamídne mar bhíúla féin agus ná lig sin I gathú ach séir sin ó hulk. Amen. faha more, drying up between times, betimes to a trickle, under heat haze, oxbow meanders, dandering, pandering to any passing slander, rising, swelling, filled with impetus, nothing if not impetuous, tempo tempestuous, reaching broad expanse, adopting a stance, to ebb again, pocked by seedy weeds, needing their days in the sun, shrinking back, blinking, recoiling from possibility, with potential ill at ease, until the feeders rush once more and will froths freely, stirring up old habits of high resolution, dissolution, arrested, yin yearning, going strong, floodplain and blood swain.
What's your own name?
Tom Finn.
Tom Finn.
Yeah.
And these two gentlemen are
John Finn.
John Finn
Kieran Finn.
and Kieran Finn. And is one of them your son and the other one your nephew?
Yeah, yeah.
Good
That's
man,
it,
yeah.
that's it,
And
yeah.
have you been fishing all your lives?
Well, I haven't, yeah.
Have you? Yeah. And these two gentlemen, you're training them in,
yeah. Training them in.
Yeah.
Isn't too easy at all, but
Yeah.
right, we'll get there and yeah.
And the fishing has changed an awful lot since the old days, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Changed an awful lot.
An awful lot. They're
They're getting scarce and everything.
getting very scarce, haven't they?
Scarce they are, yeah.
Yeah, tis certainly great. As I say, I know Bob Goodwin and his nephew, and I know Jackie Flynn over
Jackie.
from Kiel Ballyra. I have everyone in the country knows Jackie Flynn, of course. Yeah,
Sure. Most people know that fellow
yeah, I
already,
do.
yeah.
He's some character himself, and Chrissy,
And Chrissy,
who
right.
Chrissy came from Chrissy Lynch up here from Maharabeg, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yes, from Maharabeg, yeah. She was born there in Maharabeg.
Oh yeah, that she was born there. Yeah.
She was,
Yeah. Tis you're a real lovely gentleman. You're a man after my own heart. That's what you have, Tom. Yeah.
Boating for movement's sake in airy, watery elements over the lake. Boating for the record's sake and all such secondary elements, whether real or fake. Boating for its own sake, round in circles, no elements present to one's wake. Boating for God's sake, worship ahoy, unruly elements, roll, rattle, shake. Sail over fields, over ditches and drains, as if we were antediluvians, and all was yet to come and come, badgers, beetles, mankind, and cranes. Sail over fields, over ditches and drains, unhindered reaches, tailwinds and tacks. Nothing to stop us, gone with the wind, before the advent of baggage brains. Sail over fields, over ditches and drains, rudder and tiller at one with hand, billowing souls in a summer breeze, history below and its labour pains. Sail over fields, over ditches and drains, hard to starboard under heavens above. Lord in his mercy will guide us to port, without any care, any worries or strains.
Tim Griffin here as on this lovely, what should I say, Thursday afternoon here on the road down to Kilcomeen Strand. Right here where we are is the Port Yarrock Memorial to those people who were so tragically lost out here in the year 1894, and all the other poor men and women who have worked on the sea and have lost their lives out there. With me is John Malachy Rafferty, Unfilla from Glenamaddy and County Galway, and he will now recite some poetry on sea and seafaring.
Signs of rain. The hollow winds begin to blow, the clouds look black, the glass is low, the soot falls down, the spaniels sleep, the spiders from their cobwebs peep. Last night the sun went pale to bed, the moon in halos hid her head, the boding shepherd heaves a sigh for sea or rainbow in the sky. The walls are damp, the ditches smell, closed is the pink-eyed pimpernel. Hark how the chairs and tables crack, old Betty's joints are on the rack. Loud quack the ducks, the peacocks cry, the distant hills are screaming nigh. How restless are the snorting swine, the busy flies disturb the kine. Low o'er the grass the swallow wings, the cricket too, how sharp he sings. Puss on the earth with velvet paws sits wiping o'er her whiskered jaws. At dusk the swallowed toad was seen, hopping and crawling o'er the green. The whirling wind the dust obeys, and in the rapid eddy plays. My dog, so altered in his taste, quits mutton bones on grass to feast. And see yon rooks, how odd their flight, they imitate the gliding kite, and seem precipitate to fall, as if they felt the piercing ball. 'Twill surely rain, I see with sorrow, our jaunt must be put off tomorrow. Rose of Allendale. The morn was fair, the skies were clear, no breath came o'er the sea, when Mary left her Highland home and wandered forth with me. Though flowers decked the mountainside and fragrance filled the air, by far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allendale. Where'er I wandered east or west, though fate began to lure, a solace still she was to me in sorrow's lonely hour, when tempests lashed our lonely bark and rent her shivering sail, one maiden form withstood the storm, 'twas the Rose of Allendale. And when my fevered lips were parched on Afric's burning sands, she whispered hopes of happiness and tales of distant lands. My life has been a wilderness, unblessed by fortune's gale, had fate not linked my lot to hers, the Rose of Allendale. Cross over
We cross over the
stepping
stones.
stones.
We have you tuned into stepping stones and footballs and John O'Connor Church Place in Tralee, and he caused all the stones to be, well, the stones might be local, and they collected the cross site as well.
That's St. Patrick's.
Yeah, that would be St. Patrick's there, and you said Veronica Later or Blessed Lady, and the one that's here is
St. Francis.
it looks like St. Francis, yeah. He has a boat. That would be St. Brendan. St. Brendan the Navigator.
That's it, yeah.
Séad bheithe bhuiire tá lán a grástíh tá tíarna leit is benny who idir manáh agus is benny a torad the rinne isa and é bhuiire a bháthír dé gur in na pecigin is surúr más amen.
Glór den ahar agus den bhach agus an spirit níomh, mar bhíor dús mar tá fós
is mar a bheith glesnel amen. In this lovely scenic spot, we are here at the Virinisleta Grotto. It's on the route up to Mount Brendan from the eastern side. In the bay below, we can see the village of Clahan, and Fermoil Beach is on the background with Kilcummin Beach further down. And the evening sun is shining on them now. But to think of the people who built this lovely grotto here, where everything had to be brought up by hand. And now our friend John Malachy Rafferty from Glenamaddy, the poet from Glenamaddy, is going to recite some verses to suit the occasion.
Bland verse. He'll never know the names of birds that twitter free in woods, nor the names of varied trees in season-tinted hoods. He'll never know what plants are called, or Turlock's summer plain, or what to call the flowers that spring beside a landlocked drain. He'll never know who lived in that old ruin near the moor, their lives of penury and spite, the hungers of the poor. He'll never know the workings of his futile, restless brain, which hums and whirs and lurches on its way against the grain. What he knows is not worth speaking of, dumb biped blankly gazing, relieved of knowledge, kissed by the sun, his pleasures are amazing. Freefall. When all is said and all is done, and all streams freefall into one, all accents images played out, for what and all their worth. All expecting, if at reluctant pace, togetherness in earth's all embrace, one by one to all in all mix into all old elements of clay. All stillness before the storm, all fronts to the flame still warm, all or nothing fact of life, denying all are full confessed. All there are with a lunatic tinge, all finished and with time to whinge, are never started, nothing at all, it's all the same, sun stand to fall. Magna est veritas. Here in this little bay, full of tumultuous life and great repose, where twice a day the purposeless glad ocean comes and goes. Under high cliffs and far from the huge town, I sit me down. For want of me, the world's course will not fail. When all its work is done, the lie shall rot. The truth is great and shall prevail, when none cares whether it prevail or not. Blacksmith shop. I liked the bellows operated by rope, a hand or foot pedal, I don't remember which, but that blowing and the blazing of the fire, and a piece of iron in the fire, held there by tongs, red, softened for the anvil, beaten with a hammer, bent into a horseshoe, thrown in a bucket of water, sizzle, steam. And horses hitched to be shod, tossing their manes, and in the grass by the river, ploughshares, sledge runners, harrows waiting for repair. At the entrance, my bare feet on the dirt floor. Here, gusts of heat. At my back, white clouds. I stare and stare. It seems I was called for this, to glorify things just because they are. Getting older. The first surprise, I like it. Whatever happens now, some things that used to terrify have not. I didn't die young, for instance, or lose my only love. My 3 children have never had to run away from anyone. Don't tell me this gratitude is complacent. We all approach the edge of the same blackness, which for me is silent. Knowing as much sharpens my delight in January, freesia, hot coffee, winter sunlight. So we say, as we lie close on some gentle occasion, every day won from such darkness is a celebration.
Tim Griffin here, and I'm here in the backyard of the O'Doody house. With me is John Malachy Rafferty on Filla from Glenamaddy. And in this scenic place with Clahan Bay in the background and the sunset on the mountains, it's something out of this world. And now John Malachy will recite an evening prayer.
An evening prayer. May the Lord support us all the day long, till the shades lengthen and the evening comes, and the busy world is hushed, and the fever of life is over, and our work is done. Then in his mercy may he give us a safe lodging and a holy rest and peace at last. Amen.
Tim Griffin here, and I'm here in the townland of Keelballylahiv. The man on my left hand side is John Malachy Rafferty. He's a poet from the townland of Glenamaddy in County Galway. The townland here is historic in the sense that it could be called the townland of the holly trees, because holly is so prevalent here. And the backdrop, which is behind my back, has a beautiful mountain scenery, and the lakes up there. And on my left hand side, as you look down into the hollow, is the Owen Costello River, which flows out into the sea. And we are actually on the roadway up leading up to Glontanasig Wood, which you can see in the very far distant horizon, which is a lovely national park.
Slieve Gallen Braes. As I went out one morning, all in the month of May, to view all yon mountains and valleys so gay, I was thinking of the flowers, all a-going to decay, that bloom around ye, bonny bonny, Slieve Gallen Braes. How oft in the morning, with my dog and my gun, I roam through the glens for joy and for fun. But those days are now all over, and I must go away, so farewell unto ye, bonny bonny, Slieve Gallen Braes. How oft of an evening, and the sun in the west, I roved hand in hand with the one I loved best. But the hopes of youth are vanished, and now I'm far away, so farewell unto ye, bonny bonny, Slieve Gallen Braes. Oh, it was not the want of employment at home that caused us poor exiles in sorrow to roam, but those tyrannizing landlords that would not let us stay, so farewell unto ye, bonny bonny, Slieve Gallen Braes. Northern Lights. Put on a north face, where frost can lie, and snow the sun defy. Things left unsaid are beyond trace. On a north face shrouded ground, too shadowed to reflect, scheme of a lofty architect reverberates without a sound. A north face where survival sheer is a sullen, silent matter, emptied of the easy patter, crisscrossing brighter spheres. North face to our elements, dragged from chastened crag to crag, far from peak, a stick, its rag, speaks to the moon for noon's laments. Céad Fáilte 100 welcomes to Glown Tenasig, beside the upper lake of the two lakes, upper and lower lakes, in this particular area in County Kerry. An idyllic location indeed for the song of Wandering Angus. I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the glimmering air. Slieve na Mon. Alone, all alone, by the wave-washed strand, all alone in a crowded hall. The hall it is gay, and the waves they are grand, but my heart is not here at all. It flies far away by night and by day to the time and the joys that are gone, and I never can forget the sweet maiden I met in the valley near Slieve na Mon. It was not the grace of her queenly air, nor her cheek of the rose's glow, nor her soft black eyes, nor her flowing hair, nor was it her lily-white brow. 'Twas the soul of truth and of melting ruth, and the smile of summer's dawn, that stole my heart away one mild summer day in the valley near Slieve na Mon. In the festive hall by the star-watched shore, my restless spirit cries, my love, oh my love, shall I ne'er see you more, and my land will you e'er uprise. By night and by day I ever, ever pray, while lonely my life flows on, to our flag unrolled and my true love to enfold in the valley near Slieve na Mon. Breaking silence, threatening all day, for all time, finally now, from its fullness it bows and begins to break. Philosophers, Christians, humanists, kings with their subjects making hay, have had their heyday, say, to no avail, diverting this day. Individually, identifying identities, we've gone about privately, from dawn, outspokenly, desperately streaming consciousness. To replace see-through certainties, going overboard with exclamations, and their all-round declamations, ingeniously postponing the silence. Long time coming, much ado, vital ado, to while and oil the time away, we have lived to see the day, this day, when silence finally began to break. The shores of America, I'm bidding farewell to the land of my youth, and the home I love so well, and the mountains so grand in my own native land. I am bidding them all farewell. With an aching heart, I'll bid them adieu, for tomorrow I'll sail far away, o'er the raging foam to seek a home on the shores of America. It's not for the want of employment I'm going, it's not for the love of fame, that fortune bright may shine over me and give me a glorious name. It's not for the want of employment I'm going, o'er the weary and stormy sea, but to seek a home for my own true love on the shores of America. And when I'm bidding my last farewell, the tears like rain will blind, to think of my friends in my own native land, and the home I'm leaving behind. But if I'm to die in a foreign land, and be buried so far away, no fond mother's tears will be shed o'er my grave on the shores of America. The music makers. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamer of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. World losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems. With wonderful, deathless ditties, we build up the world's great cities, and out of a fabulous story, we fashion an empire's glory. One man with a dream, at pleasure, shall go forth and conquer a crown, and three with a new song's measure can trample a kingdom down. We, in the ages lying in the buried past of the earth, built Nineveh with our sighing, and Babel itself in our mirth, and overthrew them with prophesying to the old of the new world's worth. For each age is a dream that is dying, or one that is coming to birth. The Rose of Tralee. The pale moon was rising above the green mountain. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea, when I strayed with my love to yon clear crystal fountain, which stands in the beautiful vale of Tralee. She was lovely and fair, like the roses in the summer, yet it was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eyes ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. The cool shades of evening their mantles were spreading, and Mary, all smiling, stood listening to me. The moon through the valley her pale rays were shedding, when I won the heart of the Rose of Tralee. Though lovely and fair as the roses in the summer, yet it was not her beauty alone that won me. Oh no, 'twas the truth in her eyes ever dawning that made me love Mary, the Rose of Tralee. Galway shawl. In Oranmore, in the county Galway, one pleasant evening in the month of May, I spied a damsel, she was young and handsome. Her beauty fairly took my breath away. She wore no jewels or costly diamonds, no paint or powder, no, none at all. She wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and round her shoulder was the Galway shawl. As we kept on walking, she kept on talking, till her father's cottage came into view. She said, "Come in, sir, and meet my father, and for to please him, play the foggy dew." I played the blackbird and the stack of barley, Rodney's glory and the foggy dew. She sang each note like an Irish linnet, and the tears flowed in her eyes of blue. 'Twas early, early, all in the morning, I hit the road for old Donegal. She said, "Goodbye, sir," as she cried, and my heart remained with the Galway shawl. Dream on. Around two bends on the moor-wending track, beyond the tall trees and their shade, late summer evening suns on its tack, remains of the day are delayed. It's not far to go on a hike or a hack, mobile roaming out of the glade, lifting limbs off the darkening rack, to gloom, cirrus plumes putting paid. Well on in life, when spirits go slack, overtaken by sharpened young blades, feeling redundant and facing the sack, look out for neglected old trades. In the wall of despond, crawl through any crack, to where guiding lights never fade. It can't be too late to develop the knack of discovering dream scenes arrayed. Mutate. Cast out into the deep, fearless. Time is short. Take a remedy, strengthen will and neck. Time is short. No bad weather, just bad clothing. Take on the elements. Time is short. Make a break, grasp the nettle. Doing determines thought. Time is short. Health in mind, health in body, swine virus mutates, time is short. If I were a blackbird. I am a young maiden, and my story is sad, for once I was courted by a brave sailor lad. He courted me strongly by night and by day, but now my dear sailor is gone far away. If I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing, and I'd follow the ship that my true love sails in. And on the top riggings I'd there build my nest, and I'd pillow my head on his lily-white breast. He promised to take me to Donnybrook Fair, to buy me red ribbon to bind up my hair. And when he'd return from the ocean so wide, he'd take me and make me his own loving bride. His parents, they slight me and will not agree that I and my sailor married should be. But when he comes home, I will greet him with joy, and I'll take to my bosom my dear sailor boy. Come to the hills, come by the hills to the land where fancy is free, and stand where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea, where the rivers run clear and the bracken is gold in the sun, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come to the hills where life is a song, and sing where the birds fill the air with their joy all day long, where the trees sway in time and even the wind sings in tune, and the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to the land where legend remains, where stories of old filled the heart and they yet come again, where our past has been lost and our future has still to be won, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Breathe in the heady, meadow-wafted air, smell sodden sedge, earth's redolence. Inhale rightfully entitlements and shares of birthing, burying nature's fragrance. Know so your place in anti-scheme of things, under clouds which float to their own tune, no bird which sings the more for twittering kings than 4-foot soldiers decimated by noon. Withstanding stings and bites and slings and arrows, outrageous fortune fame which fumigates. Birthrights and wrongs are flattened under harrows which till the loam of humans profligates. Day in and out we ponder calmly or in rage, through earth and air and fire and water's flow, as if needs be but something there to gauge. Give up, there's naught but incandescent glow. Hello. Right, Tim Griffin, it's nice to meet you here on the footbridge by the ford, one of the first ones I've seen. You might explain to me, Tim, what these mountain ranges are, these beautiful Kerry mountain ranges.
Where again?
Starting over there maybe.
Yeah, starting over there, you can see the western face of Slieve and part of the southern part of it. You can see the huge valleys in the side of the mountain, and you can see Cahercunry, that famous stone Cahar that's up on top of it there. It's a magnificent view, and it belonged to some lord or lady at some stage in ancient times. Yeah. The other thing about that face of Cahercunry is that when there's a southwesterly wind blowing, that actually would channel the wind right out into the bay there. Here we see the Beanaskee range, which is up here, which contains all those mountains.
That's Beanaskee?
Beanaskee, yeah, where, and you were above at Loch Coombe and Loch Slet, and you still have the Owen Costello River, which was actually flowing down, which you already saw. And again, to the western side of us, which we can see, is the Mount Brandon range, which we actually can't see from here.
Yeah. So,
but again, and it's the fact that the sun is lighting the whole thing now makes it a fabulous view. And again, as I say, this is a rare enough thing, because everywhere you go you see about a ford and a river, but the ford and the footbridge together is a unique experience, thankfully it is captured on video this evening.
It is indeed, yeah. Now, standing here on the interesting footbridge beside the ford, and we're looking at the reeds on the river bank. Tim Griffin, can you tell us a little about these reeds, what they're used for, etc.?
Yeah, usually you will find this type of reed growing on lowland lands along by rivers or along by the streams. Apart from the fact, apparently I believe they are much used in sludge tanks in England at this present moment in time for cleaning waste metals out of wastewater. But their important use here was you cut them at a specific time in the year, that you cut them maybe in the end of September, October, while they still had their flower heads on them, and you leave them mature until next March. You had them cut and bound into sheaves, and they were used for thatching houses. They're still used primarily today. Most houses are thatched with reeds, and while I know there are still plentiful supply of reeds here, we're actually bringing in reeds from Holland to thatch some of our modern houses.
Footprints. One night a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life there was only one set of footprints. He also noticed that it happened at the very lowest and saddest times of his life. This really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I have noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you most, you would leave me. The Lord replied, "My precious, precious child, I love you and I would never leave you. During your times of trials and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Dingle Bay. The sun was sinking o'er the westward, the fleet is leaving Dingle shore. I watch the men row in their currachs as they mark the fishing grounds near Shellig Moor. All through the night men toil until the daybreak, while at home their wives and sweethearts kneel and pray that God might guard them and protect them and bring them safely back to Dingle Bay. I see the green isle of Valentia. I mind the days around Loch Lane, the gannets swinging with abandon as they watch the silver store that comes their way. I also see a ship on the horizon. She is sailing to a country far away. On board are exiles feeling lonely as they wave a fond farewell to Dingle Bay. Now years have passed since I came homeward, and time has left me old and grey. I sit and muse about my childhood and the happy times I spent near Dingle Bay. I see again the green isle of Valentia, and the isle of Inishmore seems far away, and I'm always dreaming about my childhood and the happy times I spent near Dingle Bay. Prime's Meadow. August leaf and spiring spruce, it seems, encase this meadow even more than ever heretofore. Lately about to be officially inscribed to my name, forever ascribed to a stripling scribe. To me, of no more practical use than ever, once cradling in its long grass, pleased to come, to taste, to pass. Fleeting field fenced to be passed on, luck to have a line, even a cool dude. He may savour here on interludes. Wild bog, herons and turlough beyond. Hints of long gone, low-bent labour here. Haymaking echoes we vaguely hear. Not just a common field, more an atmosphere, encasing one man's meagre headland times, owned, re-owned in quick succeeding primes. shawl of Galway grey. 'Twas short the night we parted, too quickly came the day, when silent, broken-hearted, I went from you away. The dawn was brightening o'er Glenrue, as stole the stars away, the last fond look I caught of you in your shawl of Galway grey. Oh, I've seen the silks and laces, and well they look and show beneath the pretty faces of gentle girls I know. But this, a secret I'll confide, I'd leave them all today, to meet you on a green hillside in your shawl of Galway grey. The well is sparkling as of yore, the sky still grey and blue, the dog outside your father's door keeps watch and ward for you. And all this picture now I see, but so far away, is brightened by your grace so free and your shawl of Galway grey. Let others love some prouder dame, with frills and flowers bedecked, your power o'er me is still the same, its play remains unchecked. And all I wish for is Glenrue, my homeland far away, and life and love beside you in your shawl of Galway grey.